What's up, gamers? Welcome back to the Devlog, but a special edition of the Devlog. You see, as much as I love my roguelike, and as much as I've been working on it ceaselessly in the past 2 weeks where I've been gone, I got a little, let's just say I got a little bit, I forgot the word. Anyways, I just got sidetracked. Sidetracked is the word I was looking for. Thank you very much. I started a new project, but a small one, a very tiny little project, barely enough to keep me from working on the next one, on the roguelike, and going back to that and just fucking. By the way, I also made music for the roguelike, so that's like proof that I've not given up on it, by the way. The YouTube upload is fucking garbage. I don't know why. First of all, probably the editing software they used to make the visual probably compressed it to shit, and YouTube compression also probably did a fucking job on it, so I'll either remove it and put it on music platforms for where like compression is better and handled, or I'll find a way to I still have the master tracks and stuff like that, so maybe I'll master it for YouTube for fucking don't want to do that at all, but whatever. But yeah, so this project that I've kind of got sidetracked into is that I wanted to make a VN, a visual novel, if you don't know, which a visual novel is pretty much like a novel, right? But visual. To be honest, it's not really a novel. I was thinking about that. It's much more like a play, right? A theater play, but like video games. Because you work in scenes and characters, or there's barely any narration. If sometimes VN have an interior monologue, but you can see this as a monologue in theater. Really, it's just it's basically the video game form of a theater play. Anyways, that's for the people who don't know what a VN is for some reason. But instead of using, what's it called? There's a Python style game engine that was created. I think it's RenPy. Instead of using a pre-made engine for visual novels, like any sane person would do, right? I decided to make my own game engine in Godot using a very a scripting language that I come up with myself, and I have to make a parser and compiler for, which is stupid, but I did it anyways. It's not done quite yet. I still have some bugs to work out, but let's be honest, it's pretty much done. Once I correct this one bug where internal references to lines in the script don't work yet, I wanted to be that you can, using a command in your script, go back to a specific line in the script, you go to, kind of. This doesn't work very well yet. It used to work, and I implemented something new and it stopped working for some reason. So once this works, I'll be able to fucking get to work either on the roguelike or make a small demo for it, right? For this VN engine. I already have an idea worked out. I have everything for the VN. I have a story in mind. What's probably gonna take me some time is that I don't want to write in English or in French, but in my own conlang, which is stupid as well, but for many different reasons, I have to do it. But yeah, it basically works. I kind of want to show you the scripting language I made. It's horrible. Like if you study, if you study computer science, like look away. It's probably one of the most idiosyncratic thing you've ever seen. Actually, let me open it. No, I'm not gonna open it in Godot. I'm gonna create a special source in OBS for you. Let's not be lazy. It's called, nope, never mind. This shows my entire screen, which is not good. You might see some compromising things. What I want to show is this. There you go. Let's zoom in a little bit. So it's in French, which is also a stupid idea. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't help like the wider community, only French community, whatever. It's easily translatable. Like the keywords are in French, I mean. So like you start with blank lines are ignored. But line references do need, well, I don't have any line references. You start with defining the music you want for your scene, the background image, and then you have an objective identifier of the character that is defined in Godot. The name you want it to be displayed as, because some characters, like when you first meet them, you don't know their name, or you know, they might change name depending on the scene and stuff like that. So I wanted to make a distinction between the ID of the character and its name so that you can change the name easily. This is how they show up, the sprite that you want to use. Invisible means invisible, neutre means neutral. And then you have the text you want them to say, and you can also add stage, what's it called? Stage something. Basically like where you want to be placed on the scene. When it's nothing, it's invisible by default, but G is gauche for left in French, and D is droite for right, and you also have a center and invisible if you want to not display the character. And then you have fin, which means end. I mean, everybody knows that. And the next dialogue it redirects to. Now, that's not all, because I have made a second dialogue to showcase further functionalities. So you have another character here who asks a question. Actually, there you go. This all needs to be on the same line here. So the question is then separated by tabs, which is a bad practice, mixing space separations and tabulation separations. I could add a tab here and say yeah, and here, but you know what? It doesn't matter really at all. Sorry. But then you have the question, you have the normal, like what's the question, and then you have answers separated by tabulations. This is what's displayed, so yes, and what if you click on it where it goes, this is internal reference, so this goes back to the 6th line of the script. You can also do the in such a way that it goes to the first test dialogue, but only the 3rd line, you know, mixed references, complex references, I mean. So yeah, it works pretty much perfectly except for the internal references, as I said earlier, but let me showcase it. It doesn't show on it doesn't show on OBS, so let me find it real quick. Yes, there you go. It's in 4/3 because that's what I like. There you go. So this is just a test. There you go. You load, so the narrator doesn't display on screen. It just says test, 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 test. it then says these nuts. Then you have the doorman who says I am on the left side of the screen, and then he goes on the right side of the screen and says I am on the right side of the screen. And then there's the Swissman, the Swiss, who says I am Swiss, and then do you believe me, he says. And then you can answer yes, and then it goes back to the beginning, basically. And you can say no, and it keeps asking the same question over and over again until you say yes. So yeah, obviously you can see that my tests and stuff like that are kind of random and don't showcase the potential fully. But I'm quite excited to start working with that, because once I get it working, because I'm quite proud of it. Let's not fucking mince words. I do plan on adding other capabilities, like for instance conditional answers and questions and stuff like that. I can do it right now. Like I can make 2 scripts, one with the condition and fulfilled and one without the condition fulfilled, but that's kind of messy. I wanted to be able to, you know, be made very proper so that not only I can use it, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's for later, obviously, because that's much harder. I would need to do a lot of various complicated parsing of the file, and some much harder compiling. Actually, it would be fucking a mess. I do plan on doing it, but that's for later. As I said, I wanted to I wanted this to be a quick detour, not like a whole fucking writing a scripting and a compiler for the scripting language and everything, you know. But that's what I ended up doing. But let's keep to simple things, and then later on I can, you know, expand on it a little more. But yeah, do expect, do look at my itch.io for news on that, because if I write anything with this, it's probably going to be like done in 1 or 2 weeks, because I don't plan it to be like, I have a larger project for this, a game project, but I do want to get working on the roguelike a lot more before I do that. So if you get anything from that VN engine, it will be much simpler than that. Maybe like a 1 or 2 hour visual novel. Maybe a lot more if you don't read my own custom language, now that I think about it. But, you know, that's not for me to say, you know what I mean. Anyways, enjoy this little detour, and hope to see you next week with more about the roguelike. I have done a lot of work on the roguelike. But to be honest, it's been so long since I've posted anything that I don't know what I showcased last. So I want to make a bit more progress, so that I'm sure that it's all new to you. So next week expect a roguelike update. But for now, this is a little detour. But it's what I've been working on for like a week. So, you know, enjoy. See you later. Bye bye.